If the kitchen's where you'd rather have your friends and family gather, you should hit the like and subscribe down below. And if filling plates and platters while maintaining flavor matters, then there's a stellar cook that you should know. It's Rain, the planet with a palate. They'll keep you fed and coming back for more. So come on, take up space. Rain will make a tasty plate and tell the diet Karens where to go. It's the Planet with a Palate cooking show. Yeah. All clean. Howdy y'all, and welcome to another episode of Planet with a Palate. I'm excited for today's episode because it's something really simple and easy. It's a meal you can make in one pan. You can cook some rice on the side if you want to. It's good with rice, but honestly, you really don't need it. Which also means that it can be a carb-free meal. It's so yummy. This is something called egg roll bowls. And it's a perfect dish for me to be cooking now that my sister just left town. She was here for 4 days and we had the best time. We went around to Tarpon Springs. I shot some photos of her for her 40th birthday at Ivy's studio. We went to my son's play and he did an amazing job. And we all just got together. She got to meet all my friends. It was a really good time. So one of the things that we do on a regular basis, and one of the ways that we stay in touch, even though we live several states away, is we do something called sibling dinners. And we will basically pick a recipe and then cook it. So this recipe came from my sister's best friend, Jen, who is awesome and part of the family, who they've been friends since literally like the dawning of time. That's right, Mel. You just turned 40. You old. Nah. Actually, she's my little sister. I'm 42, so I'm just giving her a hard time because that's what we do. But this original recipe came from Jen, and I doctored it up a little like I tend to do. But it's really good, and it's called egg roll bowls. Let's get started. It's so easy and fun and delicious. So to start off, you are gonna need a pretty big, pretty deep pan because this is gonna yield a lot of food. But we're gonna come in here with, get our ingredients here. I'm gonna put the pan on medium heat and I'm gonna heat up a little bit of olive oil. Okay. And a little bit of sesame seed oil. This is what's going to give it its delicious, rich taste. So I may add some more sesame oil as we go. I really love the flavor. But while that's heating, we are going to open our 2 packs. You can use any ground meat. I don't love ground chicken, actually. I don't use it in many recipes at all because it really doesn't have a lot of flavor. It does have a vague chicken flavor, but I think for this dish, I love it with the ground chicken because it's really absorbent of all of the flavors around it. And it kind of gives me like I'm eating a chicken egg roll vibes. So now we've got our chicken in here and it's gonna start sizzling. And before any of you say anything, this is not a Teflon pan. So yes, I do use my metal utensils in it. It's ceramic, it does not hurt it, and it is not Teflon. So I've had several people be like, don't use your metal spatula in your Teflon pan. And I just wanna make it clear, I don't cook with Teflon. These are ceramic, so. Okay, we're gonna throw a little bit of seasoning in here. So we're gonna start with our ground ginger. I really don't measure. I like to do to taste, but I do use a lot of ground ginger in it. Obviously a little bit of salt. I'm not gonna go overboard with the salt because we are also some pepper. I do like a lot of pepper and pretty much everything. And the reason I'm not gonna hit it with a whole lot of salt is because we're gonna actually add some soy sauce. But before I do that, I want to get some garlic going. We're gonna throw some garlic in our Gracula. Let him do his job here. Let's put a couple more in. He can handle. You are gonna get a little bit of a liquid off of this, but that's actually okay. We're gonna drain it in a bit. So let's get all of our yummy ground garlic. Thank you, Gracula. You're very welcome. Now it's rolling really good. All the meat's cooked, so we're gonna actually take it and drain out some of the juice. Okay. Got the majority of the water out of there. And now we can just let it really sizzle, which is what we want it to do. Because when we strained it, we also got rid of some of our sesame oil. We're gonna add back in a little bit of sesame oil here. Really get it in there, because I love that. A little more salt, just to make up for what we lost. And a little more black pepper. There we go. So now we are going to, this is nice and sizzling in the pan. So yummy. We are going to throw in a little bit of soy sauce. Enough just to make a little bit at the bottom of the pan. And we just kind of want to sweat it out into our meat. Yeah. Okay. We're going to add a little bit more ginger because we also lost some ginger. And I love this dish to have a lot of ginger. So we're going to... There we go. Big flavors. Now this was all so far in the original recipe. I'm about to put in my additions, which I think just give it the perfect kick that it needs. A couple of the medical conditions that I have cause me to have serious inflammation. So one of the things that I like to do is add things like ginger. Ginger is great for inflammation. And turmeric to things when I can. And so anytime I have a good recipe that I can add some turmeric to, makes me very happy. This also has black pepper in it for absorption. It helps your body absorb the turmeric. And I'm gonna just sprinkle just one little thing in here. This is an addition that I made, adding this turmeric, and I think it gives it a nice sweetness to the dish. Turmeric has an interesting and cool flavor that I really enjoy. And so we're just gonna mix this. He's starting to get yellow here. That's the turmeric doing its thing. We need a little more liquid. So I'm gonna add a little bit more soy. A little bit more sesame oil. I say a little bit, but I'm being pretty liberal with all these things. And then something else that I've added, I felt like it needed a vinegar, a bit of acid. And it does. And I'm going to pour a little bit of rice vinegar in here because I love the flavor of rice vinegar. try to get all these flavors mixed into each other. I want to see all this meat turn this yellow color, which means I got to mix it up more. This is smelling just heavenly. And I just keep adding little bits of liquid and letting them come out. You're basically just evaporating the flavors into this meat. I think almost to where we can add in our next ingredient. And sort of our final ingredient. I mean, we'll keep adding probably flavors, but our final ingredient is going to be this 1 pound 16-ounce bag of this is coleslaw. It's just cabbage. You can use regular shredded cabbage. I like to get this one, the tricolor, because it also has red cabbage, which gives it a good color, and also I like the flavor difference. And also it has matchstick carrots, which adds a little bit more color and life to the dish as well. So we're just gonna so it looks like we have too much in our pan, and we kind of do, but what's gonna happen is as this cabbage cooks, it's actually gonna get a lot smaller. So we want to work the cabbage slowly down to the bottom. I turn down my thing here to sort of medium low, just so I can get all this cabbage worked into the bottom. You may lose a little bit out of your pan. My pan's not quite big enough for this dish, but I make it work. Rice vinegar. A little bit more. And this you just kind of want to add as you go. You don't want it too soupy, but you also want all those flavors in there. And then, you know, a little bit more ginger. I don't have my garlic powder near me, but adobo has a lot of garlic powder in it. So I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of that for extra garlicky flavor. And not another whole thing, but a little bit more of the turmeric. Okay, now I really don't want to lose any more moisture in this at this point. So what I'm gonna do, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put the lid on it. Now I have it turned down, and I'm just going to let it simmer. I'm going to come in and stir it every 5 minutes or so and just let the cabbage cook down. This is going to be so good. Also at this point, once the cabbage is cooked down, if you like, you can add peanuts. The longer you let the peanuts cook, the softer they'll get. So keep that in mind if you have any kind of texture issues with food. But you can just genuinely, you can add peanuts at this point. It's quite good. What I'm gonna top it with is some fresh green onions, some everything bagel seasoning, which I really love and I use a lot, especially in place of just needing sesame seeds. But I do also have some plain white sesame seeds just to add to the sesame seed effect with that. So this is going to be a very delicious dish, and I just made it here in one pan. Easy cleanup, easy dinner night. Egg roll bowls, they're so good too. Like, honestly, it's a really, really good meal. Oh yeah, this, it's getting there. We still want our cabbage just a little bit softer, so we're going to keep doing the same thing. Keep letting it sizzle, sizzle. It really smells so good. Gosh, I'm excited to eat. All right, it's time to serve up our bowl. I'm so excited. I'm gonna serve this. Let's make a big old heaping bowl here. It's smell-o-vision. Smells amazing. This is gonna be so good. I don't have peanuts to put on top of it this time, but that's okay. I'm gonna top it with a little bit of everything bagel seasoning. Looks nice. And a little bit of extra sesame seeds. Yeah. And last but not least, I'm gonna hit it. I tend to like a lot with some green onions. Well, that looks pretty. Now let's serve ourselves some cucumber lime water. Delicious. Just because I like things to be pretty, I'll stick a cucumber and a lime on the side. Would you like to try the egg roll bowl? Let's see if you like it. So it has, this is cabbage. What do you think? Not a fan of cabbage, okay. Is it the texture you don't like? Yes. Okay, try this part, because I think you might like this part. It's the meat. And if you do like this part, the next time I'll just make you a bowl of this. What do you think? Not your jam, okay? All right, well, I'll get you something else. All right. Gosh, I'm so excited. The grape, gosh, I always forget how good it is until I make it again. It's like bomb. Like, really, this is one of my favorite meals right now, and it's so easy. The turmeric, though, it really adds a depth of flavor to it that's not there without it. I really love this dish. It's so tasty. And what's crazy is that you can put it in the fridge. And it's even good cold. Like, I have been known to eat a whole bowl of this cold the next day. Gosh. This is actually a pretty, you know, healthy meal too. No carbs. As I've mentioned, you can put it on a bed of rice and it's very good that way. But it really doesn't need it. I prefer to use jasmine rice with it when I make it. Or basmati, but I probably lean jasmine rice on this one. This is delicious. This is something, you know. Oh, that's good. I probably could have thrown another handful of green onions on top of it, to be honest. I love green onions, but gosh, that's good. You'll have to let me know if you make this and how you like it. Again, thanks to Jen and to my sister Melody for the wonderful recipe. I could have put a little bit more vinegar in it this time, but it's still really good. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's delicious. It's happy dance time, y'all. This just feels like good food too. The kind of food that makes you want to cuddle up under a blanket and just watch a good comfort movie, you know. Oh yeah. So I do want to address something today, sadly, that I do have to address. Rosie Jean, who was in an episode with me, and I are no longer friends. I ended the friendship. She was very sore about it. Some things have transpired since then, and it's become a whole Instagram drama. I'm not here for the drama, really. It's not my jam. I'm a little too old and tame for that. I just want to garden and eat good food and have a happy life. I'm going to post a link in my community tab to my response to the drama. That's all I'm going to really say about it. I don't want to have to keep addressing it over and over again. I responded on my Instagram story. Yeah, I responded on my Instagram story, but I do know that sometimes a response that isn't permanent has its way of, like, you know, not everyone getting to see it. And I don't know how long she's going to continue to launch her Instagram attack of me and Ivy, but you guys are welcome to watch my response. Again, look in my community tab and I will post a link. I really don't want to talk about it, you know? So it is what it is. Some people are just not really as cool as you once thought they were. I'll leave it at that. But, you know what is cool? This freaking egg roll bowl. It's so good. Gosh. Y'all. This is a great meal if you're a beginner at cooking, because it has some like really flavorful and great ingredients in there and things that if you're a cook, you're going to want in your kitchen anyways. Having ginger, having, you know, fresh garlic, turmeric's a little bit different of a spice for some people, but I love having it in the kitchen. You're going to want things like ginger and soy sauce and sesame oil. So I would definitely suggest making this bowl. And the great part is, the first time you make it, it can be a little expensive if you don't have all of those things, but they're going to last you a while. You're not going to use up your whole bottle of, you know, rice vinegar in one go. So after you have those staples in your house, it's really just some green onions, some cabbage, and some green onions, some cabbage, and some ground chicken. So and y'all know I love to shop on a budget, because as much good food as I like to eat, can be really expensive. But we're all about conservation and reusing and recycling and regrowing and composting over here. So now I'm pretty sure that my sister has said that she makes this with ground pork, and I'm sure that'd be great too, because that's classic in an egg roll. But I just love the ground chicken. And I made it with ground chicken the first time, and I loved it so much. And that, you know, why mess with perfection? I'm almost done with this bowl. And I gotta tell y'all, I'm gonna end up getting seconds. This big pan of egg roll bowl, it disappears fast in the South. Mars loves it. My oldest son loves it. As you can see, it's not really Arthur's jam, but I feel as messy as I am. I really should have got a spoon for this, not a fork. Listen, I was not allowed. Clean that bowl. Yummy. Wow. That was a delicious meal. I hope y'all love it as much as we do. Cook it for your family. It's an easy Friday night fix before your teenagers go off to hang out with their friends and, excuse me. My goodness. That was good. Awesome. So before I go, I want to give a shout out to my Planeteer of the Week, Susan G. I cannot pronounce her last name, and I'm so sorry, but I really don't want to butcher it, so I'm going to put it here. And thank you for your comments this week. You asked me a couple of questions, which one is a question that people have been asking me all the time, which is, when is my spouse going to be moving here? Are they going to be moving here? And the answer is yes. That is the plan at this point. The first step was getting married. Next up, we are going to meet up for our honeymoon. And after that, we will be filing for immigration. So hopefully that will all work out, and they should be coming to live with me and the fam here pretty soon. Hopefully in the next, it can take up to 2 years, but hopefully we're keeping our fingers crossed for 2024. The other thing that you had said is, am I ever going to do a cookbook? And I wanted to let y'all know that it is my intention to put out a cookbook at the end of the first season. I do have some cool ideas. I will have all of the season's episodes written in cookbook form in it, as well as cool tips, lots of photos, some artwork that I've done and stuff. So I want to make it something really cool and special, and it'll probably come out between season 1 and season 2. So yes, and thank you for your lovely compliments, Susan G, Planeteer of the Week. Also, I'm still doing that 5K giveaway, y'all. And a lot of you have entered to win, but if you share, I'm not at 5K yet, but we're getting there. If you share my channel on any social media platform, you can simply screenshot that share, send it to me at planetwapalette@gmail.com, and I will enter you to win the sweepstakes. Sweepstakes? Is it a sweepstakes? It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. And I'm going to be giving away a shirt and some other fun prizes. I also did a giveaway on my Instagram recently, so shout out to the person who won that. You will be receiving your stickers soon. And I'm just real excited to be able to do this kind of fun stuff for you guys. So hopefully this all works out and I can keep doing little giveaways and stuff as we approach, like, you know, good milestones together. So I'm excited. I love that y'all are all here. I love spending my Friday nights with you. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.